Somebody tells a story to a tattooist, and based on that story alone, they come out with this incredible work of art that has literally taken blood and sweat and tears.
It's such a personal thing, and if you were a historian looking back, you'd do hard to find something that would give you more of an insight into people's psyche, you know, than what they'd chosen to put on their skin. So I think looking at it as a whole, it needs to be preserved. If we don't do it, it's a huge swathe of culture that will be lost.
I think it genuinely needs to be recorded because it's how our lives are. And in years, you know, hundreds of thousands of years to come, they're going to look back and look at this. And this is the beginning of the modern primitive. We're all tribal by nature, and our tattoos define our tribe.
I think it needs to be recognised more as an art form. A lot of people have a bad opinion of tattoos, and I feel like them being in museums and such would change that.
So on his left arm he had Meta, and on my right arm I've got the mirror image of it, so that every day I brush my teeth I can see him in the mirror of the reflection of the thing. But we also added his ashes to the tattoo ink, so we all actually have him in our arms. So we're the closest friends of his. We're all able to kind of keep him.
Within a couple of days, I booked my train to go to London. She did St John the Baptist first, and she did Salome, and I loved them so much. I went back and she did both of my forearms. Some people think they're really cool. Other people initially say, "Are you religious?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And yeah, I'm not bothered if people assumed I was.
And I just grew up very angry, antisocial. So my tattoos really are just to say, keep away. I didn't know how to cope with people. I didn't know how to cope with life. The one on my face started off as a Borstal spot. The lads in there would give you a spot on your face, so everybody knew you'd been in Borstal, you know. That grew from a tear.
I was always one of those people that was like, oh, I don't have that many stories behind my tattoos. But then when I actually came to talking about it, I was like, actually, I've got some pretty cool stories as to behind why I've got these. And I think with all exhibitions, doing that increases people that want to come.
I think it's amazing, the eclectic mix of people coming down here. It's not the typical audience that you get at the museum, and I think it really does do its job of changing perceptions of tattooing that people typically have.
It's nice to know what the story is, isn't it? It's nice to know why somebody had them.
It's great. I'm famous. No, seriously, I think it's great.
You know, any type of establishment, you know, the local voice has got to be heard. And I believe that the community should be here supporting everything that comes in.
It's really, really good. A very interesting crowd of people, that's for sure. A lot of these places are seen by certain parts of the community as not including them, so by using the local voices, it brings them into it. And also it's talking outside of the museum, people to people in communities that may not even have any interest in the museum.
It's brought people together that might not have even met each other. For example, in the lecture theatre upstairs, the man behind us, the guy from the Navy, we were just kind of like having a casual chat, and he's someone that I might have looked at in the street and just kind of not really acknowledged. I'd never actually visited here before. I've been down here for almost 3 years now. I've just kind of assumed it was about sea and boats and all that, and when I saw this I was like, that's completely not what I expected from this museum. And now I visited and I'm like, oh, I'd come back here.